In a startling revelation, Darth Vader has disclosed that he possesses the ability to utilize the Force to replace his severed limbs. In the realm of Star Wars, Darth Vader has recently been attributed with a novel power, the ability to manipulate the Force to control his prosthetic limbs. This revelation prompts the inquiry: was Vader capable of utilizing this power prior to its recent emergence? In the Star Wars franchise, Darth Vader has recently demonstrated his most remarkable feat of Force power yet. Instead of using cybernetics, he replaced his missing limbs with pure Force energy. Although he only managed to sustain this ability for a brief period, it is still an unprecedented display of Force mastery. This raises the question of whether or not this power could have been utilized earlier on by Darth Vader. In Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker succumbed to the dark side of the Force and became Darth Vader. In their final confrontation on Mustafar, Obi-Wan Kenobi inflicted severe injuries on Vader, causing him to lose all his limbs and suffer severe burns on his entire body. As a result, Vader became dependent on a full bodysuit that served as both protection and respiratory support, in addition to 3 robotic limbs. While most Star Wars fans are familiar with the reason for Vader's suit, it's worth noting that it could have been avoided. Vader's immense rage and hatred during his latest adventure enabled him to manifest energy limbs from the Force, which suggests he could have done so earlier, even on the fiery lava banks of Mustafar. However, there is only one explanation why this was not feasible. In the 3rd installment of Star Wars, Dark Droids by Charles Soule and Luke Ross, a malicious virus known as the Scourge infiltrates several droids aboard Darth Vader's personal spacecraft. During his voyage to Coruscant, a handful of these infected droids launch a surprise attack on Vader while he rests within his Bacta tank. In this state of vulnerability, Vader is stripped of his cybernetic limbs and suit, rendering him defenseless against the Scourge's cunning tactical maneuvers. It is only through sheer luck and quick thinking that Vader narrowly avoids defeat at the hands of this deadly virus. Underestimating Darth Vader's power in the dark side of the Force was a mistake the Scourge came to regret. Consumed by rage and hatred, Vader summoned 4 powerful limbs made of pure Force energy. He wielded these limbs with ease to dismantle the attacking droids. Though he only held this form for a short while, it was enough to save his life when he was on the brink of certain defeat. The comic book presents a scenario where Darth Vader is able to create Force limbs in a life-or-death situation. This raises the question of whether he could have done the same during his fight with Obi-Wan in Episode 3. At that time, the newly turned Darth Vader was overwhelmed with anger and hatred, causing him to turn against his former beliefs and loved ones. If he had focused his rage, could he have created temporary Force limbs to save himself from the fiery lava and avoid his eventual fate in the suit, or even gain an advantage over Obi-Wan? However, there is one reason why it would not have been possible: the current fluctuations in the Force. Despite the validity of the question posed in the comic, the circumstances in Episode 3 would have prevented the creation of Force limbs. Upon the opening of the Fermata Cage in Hidden Empire, 2 entities were released: the Scourge and a series of Force ripples that propagated throughout the entire galaxy. These ripples have the potential to either grant Force users with unparalleled surges of power or deprive them of their connection to the Force altogether. Recently, Darth Vader has discovered a way to harness these ripples by tapping into his own hatred, thereby allowing him to perform feats that were once impossible, such as controlling his own limbs with the Force. While this new ability is certainly impressive, it cannot be used consistently and would not have saved him during the events of Episode 3. To support our channel's growth and ensure broader awareness, kindly hit the like and subscribe buttons. This will help us reach more individuals and disseminate valuable information. Thank you in advance.